Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to another segment of Hanging with the Boss Lady. I am your host, the Boss Lady herself, Cheryl Jones, aka that little old country girl. How are you doing on this beautiful, bright Friday morning? I pray all is well. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, guess what I have for you? Another wonderful segment that I think you're really going to enjoy. Are you ready? Great. Let's go. Okay, here we go. I want to talk to you today about a word, a very powerful word, a word that everyone has a connection with. And that word is self. Yes, SELF. Self is a word that we all can relate to because we all have that. It is the individual you. So let's start by giving the definition of the word self. The definition is it is the relationship of an individual's own being, knowledge, and values. So whatever it is that constitute everything that is about you, your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your wants, your needs, your ambitions, everything is all inside you, which is yourself. And that's wonderful. That means because you have a part of you that is knowledgeable, that is reaching out, that is living, that is searching, that wants to be something, that is that part of you that makes up you. The part of you that finds what's more important, the part of you that finds something that is necessary to have, that part of you that yearns to know more. It is awesome that we have a self because if not, someone else would be controlling us, right? But we have our own self, and how we think and how we feel is what makes us us. Now, the beauty of it is that everyone has their own self and we're all different. However, what I'm going to talk about today is the self mode and how we operate in the different types of self, because there are more than one type of self that we can operate in. Now, stay along with me. It might sound a little confusing, but I'll straighten it out in a minute. Self definition refers to the description of one's individuality and one's role in life. So the thing that makes you you is yourself. And know that there are a lot of different types of self that we can operate in, that we do operate in, that we wake up in the morning and we are in that particular self mode. What makes us so awesome is that we can be in control. We control what self mode we are in. Not just each morning when we wake up, but every single day of our lives. We are in a self mode that we can control. We can choose to be in the best self mode. However, many people choose to be in, I won't say the worst, I will say not the best self mode. So let's break down the different types of self mode that I'm going to talk about today. The first self mode is self indulgence. Self indulgence. So when we talk about that, let's break down the definition of self indulgence, okay? The definition of self indulgence is the act of doing things for yourself without regard to others. It's typically, I would say, it's typically associated with overindulgent behavior that can, result in wasting energy, wasting time and money. Self-indulgent acts are temporary and motivated by gratification. So when you're doing something that is self-indulgent, you're doing it only so that you can get something out of it. You don't care if anybody else is blessed by it, anybody else is profited by it, if anybody else can learn from it. All you want to do is make sure you get something out of it. That's self-indulgent. Okay? So now we don't want to be self-indulgent. No. We don't want to do that. We want to do the better self mode. But that's just the first self mode. The second self mode I want to talk about is self care. Okay, now that, my friend, is a good self mode. Now let's get the definition of self care. Okay, self care is about taking care of yourself without negatively affecting other people or burdening them. Now remember, self-indulgence was making sure that you get something out of it solely for the good and gratification of yourself. You walked away and you got something out of it, and everybody else got absolutely nothing out of it. You don't care. As long as I got something for me, that's fine with me. But no, we don't want to do that. We want to go with the other one. We don't want to be defined as a self-indulgent person. Now, self-care, on the other hand, like I said, involves nurturing your own needs and desires without sacrificing the needs and wants of others. Self-care is an ongoing process that helps you grow and become a better you. It can boost your courage, your energy, and productivity while reducing stress levels and anxiety. Now, when you are into self-care, there's nothing wrong with taking care of the vessel that you reside in. Not just physically, but mentally. All the things that you do are one package, and you want to make sure that you can sustain all your life in this package without making it hard for others, without negatively affecting other people. Now, there are some people who want to just do the best for them, regardless of what impact it has on someone else. We don't want to do that, my friend. You don't want to do that. That's not the type of people we are. We want to be our best self and simultaneously help to encourage, improve, or motivate others, right? Yes, absolutely. So those are two of the self modes that we are talking about. And I have one more, okay? Let's talk about the other self mode, which is selfish. Selfish, okay? Here's the definition of the word selfish. Lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. Sounds a lot like self-indulgence, right? But it is like self-indulgent to the 100th degree. Okay, this one here really could care absolutely less. There's no way that they could care less. All they want is everything for them. Okay, and they will step all on your head, your face, and everything just so that they can get it. And you may say, well, what is the difference between that and self-indulgence? Selfish and self-indulgent, it pretty much is the same exact thing. It can negatively affect relationships, and then it even sometimes lead to guilt. Selfish can also mean overindulgence, which can put you into debt and result in high levels of stress later on. That's what selfish can do. Now, when you're selfish, you're like, I don't care whose head I got to stand on. I don't care how long they've been waiting. And I'm just going to breeze up here and everybody get out of my way because I just want to do me. And, y'all are on your own. I really don't care. Just give me mine. And you don't care about any effect that it has on anyone. And that's like self-indulgence to the 100th level. Yes, you know what I mean? And we don't want to do that. We don't want to be that. So what I'm talking about today is the fact that we operate in self mode. But what mode is it? Is it selfish? Is it self-indulgence? Or is it self-care? And we have a choice every day, my friend. We have a choice of choosing which mode we want to operate in each and every day. And trust and believe, you can control it. And sadly, there are many people who know that they are in the mode that is not the most conducive for happiness and peace. However, they continue to operate in that mode, which is not good. Now, since we have established that self-care, that self-indulgence and selfishness is pretty much close, they're like cousins. Selfish is like self-indulgence to the 100th degree. Okay, so the both of them are against or on the other side of the table from self-care. Okay, so we're going to talk about the difference between self-care and self-indulgence. Self-indulgence is the excessive or unrestrained gratification of one's own appetites, desires, or whims. So unrestrained, whatever it is that I want, wherever I am, however I can get it, that's what I want. Okay? I'm just going to do me regardless of what effect it has on you. Isn't that sad? I was going to say pathetic, but I don't want to call anybody pathetic, but it really is. So I want you to know that in self-indulgence, there runs a possibility of you cutting off your foot despite yourself. Okay, let's talk about some of the ways that you can be self-indulgent. Very small, easy examples, like for instance, waking up in the morning and hitting the snooze button. You have someplace to be. There are things that you have to do that a lot of times runs on a time schedule. Let's say that you're still in the workforce. You have to be work at a certain time. And then again, even if you have the option of getting to work whenever you want to get there, you still have to consider traffic. You have to consider all kind of little things that may prop up to prevent you from reaching your goal for the morning. So when you hit that snooze button, we don't consider how the decision is going to affect our day moving forward. All we know is, oh, this feels so good. I just want to stay in the bed. I don't care. It feels good. Later for it, boop, you hit that button and you stay. And then what happens when you do look at the clock? Oh, God. And now you're jumping up and you're running around, like the road runner. You just zip, 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 zip because you chose to hit the snooze button. Another way that we overindulge is when we're overeating. See, a lot of times that food is good. And I'm talking about that plate of food, and I'm a food lover, okay? That food is so delicious, and we want to just keep eating. It has nothing to do with our body sending signals that we are still hungry. We're not hungry. It just tastes good, and we don't want that good taste to stop. So we overindulge with the eating, and then later on down the road, the consequence of our sitting there and continuing to stuff our face is that the scale says, hello, I got some bigger numbers for you. And then, you got high cholesterol, you got added weight, and you got all these other different problems that come with overeating. So we don't want to be overindulgent in the food department. Now, how about when you're buying something you don't need? All right, all right, you shopaholics, here we go. You just don't want to stop buying. You just love to spend. You just love to spend purchasing something that isn't practical. Okay? Things that you don't need. You just got to buy. You just got to spend. And I'm also speaking from experience. I am a person who turns to spending money to ease up stress. I used to do it all the time. Anytime I was not happy with something, I just had to go spend money. It just made me feel better. It made me broke. But, I was self indulgent in the spending area for things that was not necessary at the moment. And it can come back to bite you in the butt later. So we got to be careful how we handle that. Okay? Self indulgent in the money department. Okay, now here's another self indulgent thing that we do: doom scrolling on social media. Now, I know a lot of us can relate to that. Lay over in the nighttime, way over. You should have been asleep for hours, and you just cannot put that phone down, and you're just scrolling. Your thumb is just sliding up, sliding up. You see something, you laugh, you put a heart on it, you share it with somebody. Oh, you have got to see this. This is hilarious. I looked at it 10 times, and then here it is. You know you're tired. And how many times have you held that phone up at night, scrolling and looking, knowing that you're tired, and then you have a sharp pain right at the bridge of your nose because you were lying on your back scrolling and you dropped the phone because you fell asleep and knock yourself in the face? Listen, a lot of us have done it. And that's self-indulging, scrolling on social media when you need to put the phone down, say a good night prayer, thank God for the wonderful day you had, and get some rest. Okay? That's another way that we are self-indulging in ways that when you wake up in the morning, now you're groggy, you're tired, you're irritable because you stayed up watching all of that unnecessary, unfulfilling stuff. Okay? Another thing is that you stay up too late. That's self-indulgent, you know. And a lot of us can say, yeah, I'm guilty in that area. Yeah. Staying up way past the time that you plan. Everything should be planned in such a way that it flows smooth. And you'd be like, well, it's only 9:30 or it's only 10:30, you feel like if you go to bed before midnight, then you're a nerd or you're square. Trust me, with sometimes the hectic pace of our day, especially if you have children and you're in the workforce, being able to come home, have a nice meal, getting your clothes ready, make sure everything is straight in the house, fix it back up, get everything ready for tomorrow, take a nice long shower or a comforting bath, and then you get up, go to sleep. You don't have to stay up late. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Get yourself some rest, but you want to try to be, I'm a rock. I'm a rock, so I can do it. I'm gonna stay up late. To what end? What is it profiting you? Okay. Now let's talk about self-care. When you talk about self-care, you're taking care of that vessel. And like I said before, that self-indulgence that we talked about, all those examples are also selfishness because all you're thinking about is yourself. Okay? Now here's self-care. When you talk about self-care, understand that it is something that you use common sense with. And the common sense that we're talking about is just being smart, doing things that, just work smooth and flow smooth. The first thing when you talk about self-care is getting the right amount of rest. Okay. And it just throws everything against the wall about proving that you are, I can hang, I can stay out late, and I can hang. It don't matter. It matters. Okay. Our moods are a whole lot better when we get a full good night's sleep. You wake up refreshed. You wake up ready for the day because you've spent several hours lying with your body stretched out, relaxing, all of the movement and excitement and the thought pattern, everything is slowed down. And you feel peaceful and calm because you gave thanks to God for bringing you through another day. You said your prayers and you know He's watching over you, and you just relax and you go to sleep. Now, the next thing is exercising. And this just flies in the face of that other self-indulgent person that made sure that all they wanted to do was just stuff their face and then sit and scroll on social media for hours, or sit and binge watch television instead of going to sleep or getting up and doing some exercise. Okay? The benefits of getting exercise are absolutely, totally, 100% endless. I'm telling you. And I know that we can all agree on that. Okay? Now, when you exercise, it's just a plain good way of telling your body that you love it. Just get up and walk a little bit. And I'm not saying you have to do all these grueling, mind-numbing workouts and everything. They have so many different apps that you could click into that will walk you through different exercises, some that you don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to go out on a trail. You don't have to do all of that. Right in your living room, little stretches and different things. There are some exercises that you can do without even standing up, that you can do right from a sitting position in your chair. And trust me, all of these things work together to make a better you. So that is the self-care mode of exercising. Okay? Now here's another way of self-care. Setting healthy boundaries. That is so important. But when you tell people no when we need to, so vitally important. Why? Because, and also I'm speaking from experience, it took me a long time to get to the point where I was saying, no, I'm afraid I can't do that. I really struggled with denying requests. Anything anyone asked me, whether it made me comfortable or not, I wanted to try to do it. And that was hurting me. We cannot do everything. We are not the bionic woman. We are not Superman or Thor or Iron Man or Spider-Man or the Black Panther. We can't do all of these things. We can't do all of that. We are simply humans that have limits, and we have to remember what our limits are so that we don't hurt ourselves. Okay? We have to keep that in mind. So we have to make sure that we set boundaries. Setting boundaries against things or people that we have identified might cause us pain or stress is the most important. If you've come across someone that has abused their authority with you and make you feel like you're going through mental, emotional stress, you have to put up barriers. Okay, and that is about self-care. Don't allow yourself to be just railroaded all the time. We have to know how and when to draw the line. Okay? Another way of self-care is organizing finances. Okay, listen, so important that we get our finances together. Look around. Listen to the news. Look at the state of the world and understand that at a time where we might have felt my government is taking care of everything, all I have to do is work, get the money put in there. It'll always be there for me later on when I can retire. I can get that, and I can just live carefree and without a worry in the world. Wrong. Okay? What we have to do is learn how to plan our financial future and take care of things so that you don't rely on anyone and anything else. And it's important. And I'm not just talking about the government. I'm also talking about things like life insurance and all kind of things that will help give us peace of mind. Okay. Now, when you get all of your ducks in a row, then you can sleep better at night. Learn how to get your finances and all your paperwork and things together in the event that you are unfortunate enough to have an incident where you cannot speak for yourself, but everything has already been taken care of. That's so very important. Okay. And that is all about self-care. Okay. And you have to understand that you yourself, my friend, are an entity all on your own, and you are a magnificent entity. You have been blessed with the ability to think and to reason and to plan and to have feelings and emotions. And it's important for us to make sure that we use all of this to the advantage of being the better you. Be the better you. Know that you can and do wake up every morning by the grace of God with the ability to say, today is going to be a very positive day. I'm going to be a caring person, not selfish. I'm going to use self-care, but I'm not going to be so self-indulgent that I'm going to step on my brothers and sisters just so that I can get it for me. I'm not going to be so selfish to all I want is for me, and I don't care if anybody else, if everybody else just falls off the side of the world. As long as I have mine, that's all that matters. We don't want to do that. Okay, we don't want to be that type of person. All right. The difference between self-care and self-indulgence is the intent behind the action. With both self-care and self-indulgence, decisions are made every single day. However, for some to be classified as self-care, it needs to be something we do because it is good for us and it will improve our lives in some way. There is a lasting effect on us. Our mood improves. We relax. We are organized. And with self-indulgence, it is the opposite. We make a decision just because we want to. We want that instant gratification. And unfortunately, these type of actions can end up causing us more harm than good. We find that throughout the day, we will become exhausted. We neglect our responsibilities, and we're late for work. And we've just caused a bunch of enemies all around us, where we cause road rage because we're zipping and zipping all around, and people are honking their horns, are like, what is she doing? What is he thinking? We don't want to be in that position. So understand that self mode that you choose to be in at the beginning of the day has a way that will affect you mentally, physically, emotionally. And it's important that we remain in the best mode. Okay? I'm not saying that you have to put yourself last. I'm just saying that you have to think. Think and be considerate and be kind. And it's okay for you to be self-caring, because if you're self-caring, your mode of self-caring will also put you in a frame of mind that everybody can work along with. So let's keep that as our mode for the day, the self mode for the day. And I hope that you did understand where I was trying to go today, and I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please leave a comment. I would so love to know what you're thinking. And if you have not already done so, please hit that subscribe button, hit like for me, and share as much as you can. And I'm going to let you get back to the remainder of your day. And until we meet again, may the Lord God bless you real good. Bosslady out.